In this video, we are going to know what is operating system and types of operating system, and go deeper to the what the layers on the operating system. What is an operating system? Operating system is nothing but an interface between your user and hardware. User know the higher level language, but user cannot understand the binary language. So the user gives the commands to the OS in higher level language. The OS turns into the your command into the binary language and perform action on the hardware, and the hardware give reply to your OS, and OS display your output to the user. So OS act as the interface between user and hardware. Types of operating system. There are three types of operating systems. First one is the single user single tasking operating system, and the next one is the single user multi-user multitasking single user multitasking operating system, multi-user multitasking operating system. In single user single tasking operating system, the user can log into the OS and he perform only one task. And for this example is MS-DOS. Single user multitasking operating system. A user can log into the OS and he can perform multitasks. Like he can listen to the music, he can read the document, and he can draw the diagrams, etc. Whereas for this example, single user multitasking operating system, Windows is the best example. Whereas the multi-user multitasking operating system, multi-users can log into the OS and perform multi-tasks. Multi-users, when the one user is logged into the one OS, and the another user can log into the same OS, and one user is doing printing some documentation, other user can request it for other command, and multi-user multitasking. For this best example is Linux operating system and Unix operating system, and some other Linux are there, some distros, Red Hat, and different types of Linux operating systems are example for the multitasking multi-user multitasking operating systems. Let us see what is OS deeply. For every OS, it needs some shelter. That means hardware. Within the hardware, our OS is reside. Let us our OS is this, and this is the hardware, and this is our OS. We know that every OS have three layers. One is lower level is the kernel. After that the other layer is the shell. After that another layer is utility layer or application layer. This is the utility layer. utility layer, and whereas this is the shell, this is the kernel. In utility layer we have the applications like browser and the VLC player or some other application, and there are some utilities like LS utility or some other. Whereas the shell is the take the commands from the user, and it will whenever the user give request or the commands to the shell, the shell will take request and it will interact with the kernel, and the kernel will interact with the hardware in the lower level language. And where is the kernel is the heart of the OS, because it interact with the hardware and its peripherals, and it will know the what to perform and what to interpret it to the hardware part, and the hardware know the what the kernel give instruction and give a return back the output to the kernel, and the kernel give output to the shell, and shell will give output to the user. In shell, user will know what is the output and what is the information gathered by the shell from the kernel. So every hardware have, from this we came to know every hardware should have, every OS should have hardware, OS should need hardware, and OS have the, in the OS is the software. In that we have the three layers. One is the kernel, it is the lower level, and other is the shell, it is the middle level of the OS, and other is the utility or application layer, it is the upper layer of the OS.